There is a loneliness no one talks about. The kind that shows up when you're the one who always holds it together. People rely on your strength, but they rarely check on it. And the strange part is, most people don't even realize it's happening. Welcome to the Always On Mute podcast, where we know not everyone was born with a mic in their hand or a megaphone in their mouth, but we still have something to say, because quiet is still a voice. Welcome back to the Always On Mute podcast. Today I want to talk about something that doesn't get said out loud enough. The loneliness of being the strong one. The exhaustion of being high functioning and what it costs to be constantly relied on but rarely checked on. If you have ever felt invisible while being indispensable, this one is for you. There is a specific ache that high functioning women carry. Being seen for what you can do, but not always for who you are. Admired, but not understood. Needed, but not nurtured. High functioning women are often drowning quietly while appearing to swim with ease. People assume competence means stability, but competence just means you know how to keep going, even when no one is asking if you want to. When you are the designated strong one, the emotional check-ins stop. You become everyone's safe place, but don't always have one of your own. The world applauds your resilience, but resilience without rest becomes erosion. For quieter, introspective women, the loneliness can deepen. We process internally, we cope silently, we rarely broadcast distress. Silence gets misinterpreted as, she's fine, when really it's, she's managing. Here's the thing most people don't ever consider. High-functioning women don't emerge in a vacuum. They are shaped. They are trained. They are rewarded for being reliable, praised for being mature, celebrated for being self-sufficient. From a young age, the world teaches them that handling things alone is admirable, and handling things quietly is even better. Soon, asking for help feels like an inconvenience, and needing becomes synonymous with burden. You see it first in family systems. In many families, there's an emotional adult, even when there's still a child. The responsible one, the steady one, the one who anticipates needs without being asked, the one who doesn't cause trouble, the one who doesn't fall apart, the one who knows how to survive without making a noise. It sounds heroic, but it's also lonely. Then friendships form around that same dynamic. You're the friend who people vent to, the friend who people run to when they're overwhelmed, the confidant, the container, the calm one who listens and makes space. But how many friendships offer that same level of space back? How many people can hold you without rushing to advice, performance, or discomfort? Being the emotional, capable friend comes with invisible labor. You become the landing place, but you don't always get to land. And then there's the workplace. The workplace loves a high-functioning woman, especially a quiet, competent one. You meet deadlines. You figure things out. You anticipate problems. You don't need hand-holding. You carry the emotional temperature of the room. You adapt. You stay composed. You problem solve without theatrics. It makes you valuable, but it also makes you invisible. The workplace assumes the quiet achiever is fine because she doesn't complain. She just delivers. But sometimes she's holding everything together by threads that no one sees. High-functioning women don't usually collapse. They just recalibrate. They downshift. They reorganize. They take more on. And they smile through it. Always. The world calls it strength. But strength without softness is just armor. And armor is lonely. What most high-functioning women crave isn't fixing. It's witnessing. Someone to say, I see you. Not just what you do, but what it costs you to do it. That level of being seen feels very rare. And when it's rare, it can feel isolating. Loneliness isn't always a lack of people. Sometimes it's a lack of reciprocity, a lack of emotional landing places, a lack of being received without performance. Maybe loneliness is actually the signal that you've outgrown environments where you weren't fully met. And if you're listening to this and it's resonating, you might be the woman who stays strong by default. You're the one who doesn't fall apart in public. You're the one who figures it out when everyone else freezes. You're the person people trust with their mess, but don't always trust with your needs. You're the one who remembers birthdays, but isn't always remembered. You're the friend who checks in, but isn't always checked on. You're the family member who carries the emotional glue. You're the employee who quietly prevents disasters long before they reach management. You're the one who holds space for other people's vulnerability, even when no one asks about yours. You're the person who doesn't ask for much because you've learned that asking disrupts the equilibrium. You've built a life around being dependable, and dependable people rarely get permission to pause. There are no perfect solutions here, but there are gentle starting points. Let one person in without minimizing your needs. Practice receiving without apologizing. Share sooner, not after the collapse. Notice when you feel emotionally safe and invest there. Let go of doing everything alone. Just a little at a time. Allow softness to coexist with strength. If this resonates, you're not being dramatic. You're not needy. You're not too much. You're just used to being strong in rooms where no one asked if you ever wanted to rest. Competence shouldn't disqualify you from care. Being high functioning shouldn't mean being undersupported. If you've been holding it all together quietly, you're not alone. And you do not, I repeat, you do not have to choose between being strong and being supported. Strength is allowed to receive. Thank you for listening to this Always on Mute podcast, where quiet is still a voice. If this episode made you think, feel, or breathe a little deeper, kindly share it with someone who holds their strength the same way that you do. Also, comment below and let me know how you're getting by being that high-functioning woman. Also, like this video, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, please keep listening to the parts of you that do not always speak the loudest. They're usually telling the truth. Thanks again, and take care.